Hello everyone, welcome to the review of Unit 1, Changing World. So as we talked about earlier in the review section was about the ongoing war and situation in Ukraine and kind of how, well, Russia's actions have pushed it into an area of becoming a pariah state globally.
Pariah.
Pariah.
One major thing of why that's so impactful was because Germany has kind of broken from their pacifist ways since World War II, and they have determined to reinvest 100 billion euros into the military and expand it essentially overnight in this bold move to protect Europe from Russia's aggression. And even more, whether amazing or shocking, is kind of Switzerland's break of neutrality. They sided with Europe on sanctions against Russia. And they have notoriously been, neutral, all the way through the world wars until now.
Sanction.
Sanction.
And it seems like there's a lot of global support and backing behind Ukraine in many, many ways of giving them, equipment and machinery and tanks and, all of these arms to protect themselves without actually getting involved with their own military. There's a lot of support behind sanctions and everything else. But it's got a lot of people thinking back to, 2021, longing for the days which seemed relatively peaceful before now, but here we are with that situation.
Here we are.
Long for.
Long for.
I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit. We've heard it on the news, but why do you think Putin has decided, or what do you think of his reasonings behind invading Ukraine?
Well, the reasons he gives is to help the Russian nationals or Russian, ethnic Russians in the eastern part of Ukraine who want to separate from Ukraine and become part of Russia. And also, Ukraine wanting to join NATO and or the EU. So all of those, Ukraine kind of migrating more to be sympathetic to Europe rather than Russia. So that's what he says, and that's probably why, but I can't really understand his end game because becoming a world pariah to achieve these goals, it doesn't seem like a winning situation. If he wins the war, he's still a pariah, and if he loses the war, then he's got this big loss on his record. So I don't really know. How about you?
I mean, if anyone can know that answer, I think they might solve the solution or find a way to give that answer to, the powers that be. But I think, like what you said, what he is claiming about protecting the Russian diaspora or the ethnic community in those regions in the Eastern Europe, I think that's total craziness. I'm going to say that way, soft words. I previously lived for a few months in Eastern Europe, in Latvia, and I traveled actually in those Baltic nations, and I've been down to Poland and Ukraine as well. And in many of those areas, there are a lot of ethnic Russians, mostly to the eastern part of those countries, and they feel excluded from most of the nation. However, in some of them, like Latvia, they're close to the majority. And there's tons of Russian influence still there. But the strife between the ethnic people of the country and the Russian ethnic group, it's pretty tense of those who are 45 years and older because they were forced there during Soviet Union. However, those younger, vastly different opinions. They want to be part of the West, per se. They want to be a part of Europe. They think of themselves as European. They don't connect to Russia. And I think what Putin is doing, I think, is kind of a playbook at what Trump did. He's connecting to a lot of the old ideology and feelings of the Russians to stir that nationality. And that's, in this case, deadly. And it's disastrous. His in game? I don't know. There is no winning in game in this case.
Yeah.
I think.
I just don't understand.
Yeah. So we at this point where we are filming this, we don't know what's going to happen. It could change in a few months after this is released. We don't know. But we hope essentially the best for Ukraine. Into this as soon as possible.
Right.
So, but with that, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.